Hey everybody, Tanya here, Tuesday with Tanya. I'm here with Adam Carbone.
What's up?
Thanks for coming out. Thank you
for having me, Tanya.
Thank you. No, thank you. Thank you for for your time. You know, we have the famous guy here, and I feel like I was thankful he could meet. He could meet today, and we're at Ritual Cafe over in Warwick on 2028 Warwick Avenue. So we're here today, a nice little locally owned cafe, coffee place. So I'm going to go into more of the details about that later. And yes, and we have so many mutual people that we know. So this is one of the things I was going to mention was, I just find it weird that I met you at like a small political gathering. It was for the, is his name Steve Laffey?
Yeah, Steve Laffey.
I know the last name's Laffey, the former, so it goes to show you I don't even know him, okay? Like I just know him as the former mayor of Cranston, Laffey. I said, ooh, I want to go there. Didn't even have an invite, nothing. They did question me at the door, and I said, oh, well, I'm like, I know Stenhouse over there, and like, not even knowing you were there, we have a lot of mutual people that we know. And I said, I just think that was the weirdest thing, that I don't even know Steve Laffey. Stenhouse, I only know as an acquaintance, never even had met him in person, just was a couple of phone calls about us putting on maybe platforms and sharing each other's things on our platforms. He's with the Ocean State Current, which we're going to get into too. So I don't want to say it like that, but he's, you know, Stenhouse is nobody close to me. Laffey don't even know. He actually even came up to me afterwards as if to say like who are you again? Like the Laffey guy. I'm like, oh hi, and I said who I was. I just find it so weird that, so long story short, if I'm boring any viewers, but really long story short, I can't believe it took meeting you at a place like that when we have mutual people. That's just weird.
And
it was
we're
very
tiny.
Yeah, we were already friends on Facebook. Didn't even know I was even friends with you. Right. Didn't even know I was even friends with you. Right. And don't take that in a bad way because that's happened several times actually.
I gotta go.
Yeah. And it has happened several times. And I'm like, and then I'm like saying, it just need to be at a tiny event on a Friday afternoon, which, hey, hi Roseanne, hey there, pretty woman. So just she's connected in Cranston. So as I'm saying, we have our famous guy. Hey Dan, hey Adam. He's a true mensch, great to work with. Which mensch? What's mensch mean?
What's that? Jewish term.
Oh, Jewish. Yeah. Okay, sorry.
And it's a good thing. It's a good thing.
Is it good?
Yeah. He was in one of my shorts. Dan.
Oh, get out.
Oh yeah.
He was like, oh my God, damn, remember you from the Miss Donegan, Miss Batuli days. I forget the one, what was it, Pippin? I can't remember. He did awesome on the stage. He like blew us away. Dan, you're very funny, still funny guy. And him and, what's his name? You know Ryan Souza? Him and Ryan Souza, what was that? I forget, Hubert? Sorry. All right, some people know from West who I'm talking about. Ryan Souza, short guy, whatever. Dan Martin, much taller, you know, two opposites. And oh my God, one was like, he was I think like the old lady, and he was, and meaning Dan Martin was the old lady, and Ryan Souza was like the monkey. And we had more fun in that theater class. I remember, yes. Come on, Dan, that was hysterical. And then the Pippin or whatever movie he was in, I think he played a king or he played something. Dan Martin's awesome.
Oh, yeah.
And a lot of great work came out of Miss Batuli and Miss Donegan, as I call her too. But yeah, but to be at a tiny event like that, which was, and nothing against Steve Laffey, but I don't think that was the best day to be having an event on a Friday afternoon. I mean, on a business view, I feel like people sometimes, maybe not all business people, but some business people are checked out on a Friday. They're leaving at 11 a.m., 12 noon. They're leaving the office. They're going to whatever, whether it's away for the weekend, whether it's just starting their weekend and in weekend mode, I like to call it. So I was a little surprised he did it on that day. I wasn't mad.
The chair was filled though.
But, there were still people there.
They got it packed, that house.
They did, and I shouldn't talk about it. I mean, I guess, maybe there was scheduling reasons why he had to do it on that day.
Yeah, for sure.
You know, and if you're really interested, you'll get yourself there, kind of like I did too. So, but so funny that I met you there after all that. And I was even saying to our friend Adam here, and thanks guys for tuning in. I'm here with Adam Carbone today. Those of you just tuning in, I should say. So yeah, I would have known you more from before, but I wasn't doing these lives back in 2020. It was right. So tell us about that. Tell us about the run for mayor and the
my midlife crisis.
Is that what it is? Or early life crisis? Like in your 20s?
No, but. I ran for mayor of Cranston in 2020. Yeah. Everything was shutting down. But I had this intention from 2018 actually, so it's not like I hatched the idea in 2020.
Oh, so you knew? Okay, you knew it from before.
Yeah, But in 2018 there's going to be a special election if Fung won governor. So I was really like kind of hoping that would happen if he won, because then I'm like, now there's a slot that's open.
Right.
I felt like I would have a better chance in a special election. But obviously that didn't happen, and I kind of just shelved the idea. And then when 2020 came along and I saw that the seat was vacant finally from Alan Fung, I was like, there's my chance. And it was 2020, so nothing. And I made my announcement event. I did that right before all the lockdowns and all that stuff. So I was starting even before
COVID.
Then when the pandemic happened, I had to really think, is this insensitive now during this time? Because I ran a really crazy campaign. I really did question if I should do this, and I said, but if anything, it's the best time to do it, just to keep people laughing and
to keep people
fun.
entertained, right?
Yeah, there's so many people that came up to me saying like, this was so fun for me and my kids, like just to follow your campaign and just have a good laugh during this time. And at the same time, I had so many different motives to why I would do this, and part of it was like, it was not to not win. I was hoping like maybe I could. But I knew it was a long shot with the crazy antics that I did. I went to the debate dressed as a hot dog.
Yes, you have a hot dog candidate. Yes.
Like a lot of stuff like that I did. I was going to bring Adele to the now destroyed gazebo.
A picture of Adele? Or
no, I was going to actually bring Adele. I don't know
the real
how.
singer?
Yeah. Why not? Reach out to your agent. But I made that campaign promise. But my philosophy behind that was, if you're going to make campaign promises, most of the politicians lie. They say they're going to do this, they're going to do that. And it's like, little lies.
They don't all come true.
So it's just like, why not be obvious about it? It's like, I just made all these promises. I was going to extend the half-off app hours at Applebee's. I was going to, like, a lot of things.
So was some of it phony?
I just said I don't want to say phony. I just said words.
So it was kind of made up, or
for sure. But also at the same time, I did try to get these things.
You were trying in the back.
But I knew how almost impossible.
Almost impossible, right.
So I just that was kind of the whole philosophy behind that campaign. Like, let's just see how it's done. I did billboards, all crazy billboards. I was covering mashed potatoes in one of them, and I was like, I did like so many things like that just to get people's eye. Because if I ran as a regular politician, like, who am I?
Right.
These people have been here forever, and like
they
have name recognition. So
that's right. They did.
To make a
no
splash,
offense, they did.
Sure,
they did. Some of them did.
I'm very aware of that. So just to make a splash, I had to just do something crazy.
Yeah, which I liked, which I definitely liked. And thank you, Dan. Dan saying best punk rock political move, diva Jeff Jelly Biafra. What's that mean? I can't read it. What's that say? Jelly. Is that another Jewish thing or some other word? Is it? Am I saying it right? That's Dan. They're mine.
Yeah.
Our friend. Are you calling him the diva? Or the political diva? No.
It wasn't a punk rock move though.
Yeah, no, it was good. It was definitely good. It was a good move, but it a lot of people wondered too, and and don't take this wrong, but this guy's dressed as a hot dog. He's in his 20s. You showed up to a debate with the hot dog outfit. Mm-hmm. So people are wondering, was it a serious run?
I was shocked I didn't win. No.
But was it? Yes, was it a serious run?
It was.
Because do you see how people could wonder that?
Yes. Oh yeah.
I mean, I don't mean it mean.
I saw the results. I'm like, what? We actually had like a little party, and we got the results like almost immediately, and the party was over. So yeah, but no.
Because it was serious.
Yeah, in a way. Yeah, in a way, it was like, if I won, I felt like I could have learned and did a good job over time, and surround myself with people that knew more than me, and I knew there's plenty of them. So I was going to surround myself with those sort of people if I actually won. Right. But at the same time, it's like, I don't care what the end result is. I just want to do this. Just to say I did, just to make a statement about like the ridiculousness of politics in general, and how divisive parties can be and stuff.
Right.
So I tried to make my own party called the Bagel and Cream Cheese Party, which is an attempt to bring people together of like, if you like certain aspects of Republicans or Democrats or Libertarian or Green Party, I think there's a good elements and there's redeeming elements in a lot of those parties.
Right.
And it's not all black and white, good, bad, evil.
Right. That's right.
The system is set up to divide and conquer, so the people that are really in charge kind of manipulate us by making us fight with each other. So that was an attempt. It was also that, to try to bring people together through humor. Do what I could do best. If I tried to be a serious politician, I had to do what I could do best. And that was
Right. No, which is awesome. I was very creative more than anything.
Yeah.
And like we said, I mean, I don't know if I want to say the name on here, but that woman, she even said it. She's like, Tanya, he was the smartest one. He would have did the better job, and they were talking. She was talking well about you.
Yeah. Well, I think
and she wasn't the only one, by the way.
Yeah.
You know,
there was 2 people. No, I think a lot of people are kind of sick of the status quo and like what they've been seeing and hearing. It gets people. I think are finally getting sick of it, and they're looking for alternatives. That's why I think a lot of the election results end up the way they are, because they're sick of seeing the same people over and over. These dynasty families just being in control of everything.
And
the same way with local politics. Like, these names have been there forever.
Yes.
And it's just like, to me, it's like boring. Like,
I know.
Gosh,
It is.
Just the things that they talk about. Like, still do your job, do a good job, but make it interesting. Make it fun. Why can't you have a laugh while you're doing a good job? Do a good job and have a laugh at the same time. I don't see anything wrong with that.
Yeah, no, I don't either.
That was another thing I was trying to inject into this campaign too. It's like,
right.
Because you just listen to these people like,
no, it does. It gets boring. It does.
Yeah.
It does. It's true. I mean,
you gotta get people excited, especially if you want like young people involved too.
Yes.
I got a lot of people that I got to register to vote. I wanted to. They just registered to vote because they wanted to get involved. And now they're all up to date on local politics and stuff, which is great.
Yeah.
And I think
younger people.
To get the younger base energized, you need something like this. You need crazy, you know.
Right. It's true. True. And I thought of running too. I've had even a couple of people saying to me, well, you should run for mayor or for governor. Or for, you're tough, like, because it's true. Like, I'm kind of like, lay the law down, no bullshit, no, you know what I mean? Like, and I'm like, but I don't even follow politics enough to even know. Like, I don't want to, I don't know enough about the ins and outs of politics, and I just feel like I don't fit in with most of them. Most of them are kind of like,
you don't fit in.
Yeah, but I know. But I thought the same thing you just said. Like, I know people who I'm connected to, whether they're acquaintances or a couple that are close to me that are very well versed in politics. And I'm like, well, I could just maybe hire them and have them help me, and maybe they can help me with my campaign, and they can help me with the things that I don't understand and I can learn as I go. Because I'm not afraid to speak in public. I'm not afraid to stand up for what's right and just to make things better. And and I think we should put even things with all this COVID money and this money and this federal money. How I look at it, put it in the people's pockets. Like I'm mathematical, so I take an equation of all of Rhode Island. I do a math equation. You're over 18. I have this much federal money to get out. Why do I have to give it to this organization and this organization? Give away all these millions. I could put it in Rhode Islanders' pockets and do the math and say we have this many 1,000 or 1,000,000 Rhode Islanders over 18. Everyone's gonna get everyone can get 300 apiece if I do it this way. I'd rather do that than give out millions to that organization, that one. That's what I mean. Like, I'd like to do more. I would, and I probably would do stuff like that. But I don't understand enough about politics of all the workings of it. I would definitely need people under me. But to do those things, I think I could help in that kind of way, and to do what's right. Get drunk drivers off the road, and get more patrolling on these streets to look for that. Put restraints up at restaurants, and I know the local restaurants are not going to like I'm saying this because some of them allow more drinks than are allowed. Some people come there already with 2 drinks in them, and then they take 2 more at the place, and But there could be ways of getting that more enforced and getting more money out there instead of giving it to an organization. I'm going to give it to the police departments, and you need to get bodies on the road, like pulling over people at random. I'm just saying things like that people have real concerns about is what I'd want to do. And I think drunk driving is important. I know more than one person that's been affected, as we all can think of someone we know of or know. So I'm just saying, but there's ways to keep that intact. It's like it's 2023. Like, you need to tell me you can't hire more bodies to patrol on the streets. Right. I'm just making an example. I'm sorry to go off on a tangent. But I've thought of running too in those facets.
There should be votes on things like that. Like, let's say it's like $1 million soccer field. Like, do we really need that? Or you can do a vote. Like, would you guys rather have it divided in residents' pocket? Yeah. There should be things like that.
Which will keep the economy going. That's what I'm saying. Like, what does every organization need millions for? And then some of these corporate people are pocketing some of it, or at least it appears that way. I shouldn't say that, but you know what I mean. So, thanks. I didn't mean to go on my rant, but that's what I'm saying. So there was some seriousness between you running. You're trying to make it fun, humor, like you're saying too. And I am a former teacher myself, so there were times I tried putting some fun things in my classroom. So I know what you mean. And I can say people appreciate it. They did appreciate it. The kids liked it.
I use it too as a platform just to like just to be able to do my comedy, you know, because sometimes I get nervous in front of like a large crowd of people. So I was injecting all like these jokes I was coming up with into the campaign. I felt like I could just truly be my unfiltered self. Like, I tried to ban pasta salad from the state, which is ridiculous, right? But I hate pasta salad. I needed a way to tell the world that I hate it. And I had a lot of people that backed me. It's like, it's terrible, we hate it. But what a thing to say in Cranston. Every grocery store serves it.
Right.
I had like grocery store owners say, now I'm not going to vote for you because that's a big portion of my business.
God, I know. I don't care for pasta salad either.
I would have actually tried to ban it too because I hate it that much.
I mean, I could eat it, but like it's not my favorite.
Mayonnaise, cold, wet.
It's not. If you make it the right way, like, you know, I've had it the right way. But so Rhode Island, the ocean of depths, being in debt state. Yes, I know, Dan. I know it's true. It's true. So tell us about all your all the roles you have in the movie, and we have Poor Paul, and we have I know you mentioned a couple. However you want to start. I know it's kind of a lot.
I would say I've been making films for like 10 years, 10 to 12 years.
Wow, so it's been that long.
Yeah, it's been that long, and I started like at a lower level, and then I kind of just kept building my way up. My networking game is strong, so I reach out to a lot of different people and people that. A lot of people think are unapproachable. I would just reach out, send Facebook messages to whatever. And that's how I started. And then I got a few select people that really helped me out and kind of brought me into the business. And then, I started getting on bigger sets, and I did like a lot of PA work at like bigger productions. And it kind of just graduated from there. I started production coordinating, which evolved into production managing, which evolved into producing. And then also with that comes the directing and the acting and all that stuff. So I guess my biggest thing, I did a film called, one of my biggest things to start with was called Randy's Canvas. I played a artist with autism that falls in love for the first time. We shot it all in Rhode Island. We teamed up with the Autism Project in Rhode Island. And we just made this film, and we got some people from LA, a lot of local people here, we got a lot of the kids from the Autism Project involved, and we made a lot of strides with that film. We won Best Picture, and I won Best Actor at Fest, which is a film festival that Ed Asner ran, and we beat out like Freddie Highmore from Good Doctor, Keir Gilchrist from Atypical. It was incredible, like what we saw that we're capable of. And then after that, it was like, that was in Beverly Hills at the Writers Guild. That's where the festival was. So that was just incredible. And then from there, we're just like that core team stuck together. And we did shows on the side. I just did a show in Iowa. And then I just did another show called Garden of Wonder. We shot in Rhode Island and in LA. And then it turned into Poor Paul, which is my latest film. And we made that years ago. I wrote with Sean Michael Byer, the director. I wrote it with him 10 years ago. Wow. And it's based on a web series that he did. He did 2 seasons of it. And we just teamed up and wrote this film together. And we went through various phases of making this production, and it always comes down to funding and star power, right? It's a catch-22. To get funding, you need stars. To get stars, you need funding. So we're going through like a constant cycle of that over the course of 10 years. We had like Malcolm McDowell signed at one point, Robert Davi, we had Christopher Lloyd interested, James Caan, who recently passed. They all wanted to be in this film. So we knew we had a good script. And then just over the years, it just kind of, people promise things and it falls through. And so we got to a point where like, all right, and then we moved on. We just made other projects and we just put it to the side. And then we teamed up. We met this group of people, 2 different groups of people. The Burts, based out of it's Tanya Burt and Brad Burt. They're in Iowa, and the Pasquales, who are in Pennsylvania. And we teamed up with them, Susan Pasquale and Harold Pasquale, and we teamed up with them, and they put in financial stuff that we needed for the movie. Financial stuff, money. They put it into the movie, and they got us to where we need to be to make it. But we're just gonna make it no matter what. So we got phones. We're like, we can film it with a phone. We get proper sound by Joe Cook. Shout out Joe Cook. My sound guy is the best. So we got all like as many people as we could. We got students from URI. We got friends and family helping out. My uncle's a musician, Dean Petrella from The Complaints, and we got.
I know The Complaints. They're local. They're local.
So he does the music. We have a musical number in the film, and he composed that. It was great. So we got all those people, and we just said we're going to make this movie no matter what, with the financial resources, the limited financial resources that we obtain. We put it all together. And we made the film. Not at the budget we wanted to originally. Like we wanted to do $1 million, $2 million movie, which is still low. But we said no matter what we have, we're going to do it. So we just you know, the ceiling's a limit, and we still made the story that we wanted to make, and we still told the story with what we had, and we still got some really good actors in there, and
right,
incredible. So yeah, we just
it could cost $1 million or $2 million.
Oh, at least that's nothing. I mean, because a lot of the money goes.
Oh, because this goes on too. It drags. I don't mean drags on, but it takes time to make a movie, and
well, I mean, locations, props, costumes, actors. Hey, you have to pay reunions. Just the crew pay and gear rental. There's a lot that goes into it, and it takes months and months and months of prep. Like we were like prepping for 4 or 5 months, and then we shot it in like 13 days, which is unheard of. You know, for a movie of this caliber and the amount of locations. We travel around the world in this movie, but it was all mostly
Rhode Island, right? Yeah.
But we make it look. There's so many great locations in Rhode Island. It's a very attractive place to film.
I know.
And the tax credit is great too, 30%. So
what does that mean again? Because I heard of that, but I didn't know.
Yeah. So if you make a film in Rhode Island, you get a tax credit, which is a tax incentive. So if you spend, let's say you spend $500,000 in state, you get 30% of that back in tax credit that you can use as a write-off, or you can sell it to certain brokers for like 80 cents on the dollar. And so you pretty much are getting almost 30% of your money back.
That's good.
As long as you spend it in state. So which brings a lot of movies. Like Good Burger 2 is filming here. They did Hocus Pocus.
Hocus Pocus. Yeah, that's right. Okay.
Yeah, and that's because of that tax credit, and it's such a film-friendly state. I mean, the Film Commission rarely runs it well, and it brings a lot of people in, so it's cool.
That's awesome.
So we just acquired. We did a few screenings. We did one in Pittsburgh. We did one in Northern California. We did one in Rhode Island.
For screening
For screening just to generate hype and get some press pictures and stuff like that, and to show people that worked on it like what we made. And then from there we got a distribution offer from a group called Indie Rights, and they just acquired it now. So we're giving them all the deliverables, which is like the final film and the press packet, all that stuff. And they're going to figure out where it's going to live, where it's going to be able to watch for everybody. So,
well, so I was going to ask, so is there no set place?
Not yet. So
is it on YouTube or anything?
No, not yet, no. Okay. They're going to try to get something like, we're obviously go for the top first, like a Netflix or Apple or something like that. And then they just go down the ladder, depending on who wants it and what. But, I mean, that's a huge step, too. Like, there's so many people who have to go through to get it to that point.
That's awesome. That's so good. I hope it makes it to Netflix.
Oh, yeah.
That's cool. That's so good. And then you had mentioned that you were a PA. So what's that stand for?
It was a production assistant. So like I did that like 10 years ago. But like
I thought I meant production. I thought I didn't know for sure.
That's just like pretty much entry level in the film world. You still have to know somebody. It's such a hidden job market most of the time. But I did that with Live by Night, a Ben Affleck film. I did a Johnny Depp Black Mass. I did America's Got Talent, X Factor.
So meaning what? No, it's
like I was like production assistant. Whatever.
Like you helped on those things?
Yeah.
Get out.
Yeah. So whatever.
So you were out of state, basically.
Yeah. I go wherever. You know, I gone to LA here.
So how do you get in to help with such a thing?
Well, I did.
Not to be nosy, but
I started just with like I started with Tommy DiNucci and Chad Verdi on Almost Mercy. I was a production coordinator on that. Yeah. I just got found through my YouTube channel I had at the time, and I got found through that, and they hired me as a production coordinator, and then from there I networked with like the ADs and stuff, and then they got me on these other films, these bigger films, and then from the production coordinator just kind of graduated from there, like you coordinate, and then I kept doing that a little bit, and then that kind of just goes up and up. So that's how it started.
That's awesome. You know? That's great.
That's great. And it weeds a lot of people out. Like the film industry can be brutal, like especially being a production assistant or an extra in the acting world.
Yeah, I was gonna say.
Oh my god, it could be brutal. You know. Yeah. And on my sets, I always make it a point to treat everybody the same, like from extras to stars to production assistants, they're equal, and you have to treat everybody with kindness, because it can really chew people out, like especially on higher levels. They can be treated not the best, and it's really important to treat everybody equally, because you'll scare people away in this industry if you're not cool.
No, exactly. And then always not to talk money, but I feel like that ends up being a question that people, not just for you, but people who maybe do things even similar to what you're doing, and they're on a movie set, or even if they are an extra, they'll say, but like how do you get paid from all this? Do you get paid? So I don't mean to ask those questions, but being a production assistant, is that something that's paid? Is it volunteer? Is it?
Well, it depends.
I feel bad asking. But you know how people get that thought with some of these creative things that people in the world do, and it's not just this. You could be an artist and be making paintings. You know.
Yeah.
So how do you?
It depends. It depends on the production, right? Yeah. So sometimes you're just an intern. You start. That's usually on lower level stuff. On the higher paid stuff, it's always mostly paid. You know.
Okay.
It just depends. It really does.
Okay.
But I think nowadays, you know, people aren't kind of go unless you're trying to get into the business.
Yeah.
People aren't really going for the unpaid stuff. You really gotta just pay your crew and stuff. And it's not always easy. Sometimes you just want to make something and you don't have the funding, and you just have to surround yourself with like-minded individuals who just want to make something.
Right,
you know?
right.
So it's always give or take depending on the project.
That's right. Right. And so the different roles, you got into some of those. Any favorite role? Because I know you've also been an actor too.
Yeah.
So what's your favorite role to be in?
I would say my favorite role. I do like the crazy comedy stuff. Like I like just being like just like a wacko. But the hot dog was my favorite role. No, I like playing Randy actually because that was a challenge because I studied with the Autism Project and I went to their summer camps and I went to their classes. I just like
that's sad.
I just learned that like people are like they're individual people. They're just people, and then you sprinkle autism at whatever level of the spectrum you're at on top of that person. So. To me, it was like I had to figure out who Randy was at the same time. Like I already feel like I'm socially awkward anyway, so I had to I added some of myself in there, and I learned from these kids at Autism Project. I really like put all that into making this character. Yeah. And my favorite part with acting is like zoning out and blocking out the noise. I put in headphones. I'm very method. I just kind of you know I just love being able to immerse myself in a world that isn't my own. Right. So that's so I would say Randy was probably
yeah. And then your director name is it Snaff? Am I saying it right?
Yeah.
Zubarano?
Yep.
Am I saying it right?
Yeah.
So how do you come up with that?
I guess people are gonna go. It's stupid. No, I just had a dream that I won an Oscar under that name.
Get out! It's a real dream that
night. Spelled, it was perfectly spelled that way, and I was just like, all right, I'm gonna go with it. And at the time, I wanted to change my name to that years ago. But also I want to preserve my name, my last name, and that legacy. I want to preserve that. So that was kind of a challenge for me. So I was going to do it, and then my manager at the time was like, don't do it. Just stay as your name. You already did enough work under Adam. So what I decided most recently was just to split it. So that's director, and then everything else I do is under my name. If it's acting or producing or whatever else is under my actual name.
Right. Yeah. Okay.
So Snaff has directed. I did a show called the Linda Eldridge Program. We shot that last year into this year. It's a show about a talk show host that goes missing. And two comedians, Anthony Parashino and Ryan Lewis, they take over. They take over the set, and they just run this crazy show with all like weird guests and stuff. So we did that, and then it spun off into another series called Garden of Wonder, which is all garden themed. But it's very crazy. We had George Takei on it, Redman, Andrew Hales. We had a lot of really cool people on the show.
That's interesting. Redman is a rapper.
Yes.
Okay.
And we had a lot of those people on. And we just shot the season finale last Thursday, and so that was that's Snaff's first two projects, and then he's going to be directing a feature this summer.
Awesome. What was the name again?
It's called Double O Dixta.
Starring
the Dixta, who's my co-host on Red Tide Radio, that's on Ocean State Current. And so we're shooting that this summer, which is going to be a really crazy, over the top comedy spy movie. So
that's awesome.
Which would be my directorial debut as a feature film.
Right.
I did make one feature like 12 years ago, but we don't talk about that.
Why not?
Because it was 12 years ago. No, just 12 years ago. It was just kind of crazy. It was fun. It has its moments, you know. Like we were walking into a castle at one point in it, and it was green screen. But then like we hit the green screen instead of cutting. You know, we just hit it, and then the effects drop out, and the green screen falls over, and you see it's just an apartment. So like I love stuff like that. Very Monty Python-esque, but stuff like that too. Like I want to bring all that weird little things into a bigger production.
Right. Which makes sense. Yeah. No, that's awesome. I know you mentioned Ocean State Current, so watch for so my Tuesdays with Tanya will be on. So that's on the actual website, right? Just anyone, in case if anyone wants to know.
Yeah, every Tuesday at 2 p.m. So as soon as we're done with this, we post the previous episode at 2 p.m. the next day.
All right.
Thanks.
And thank you guys. Okay. All right, cool. And so who's from Cranston that's on, I'm just thinking people I could know. Who's from Cranston on the, like anybody from, I know we talked about it a little bit, but like any other people that went to like West maybe? That are in Paw Paul.
Yeah, as far as like Rhode Islanders, Cranston people, Brian Vincent was in the film. He's a comedian, and he plays a bad guy named Luigi. Yeah, and it was interesting because I always compare it to Casino when you had Don Rickles at
and I didn't even see that with kind of Italian in my eye.
His comedy was insane, and it was really over the top and crazy. I love him as a comedian. Same thing with Brian. Yeah. And you put them in a role where they have to be quiet. It's so funny, but they're so good because they're stoic, and you don't expect that out of a comedian like that.
That's right.
And we put him in that role, and he just shines. Like he's scary in the movie. Like you wouldn't think that, and he's always crazy. So it was really cool to see him in that role. We have a lot of comedians in the role.
Well, Jerry Caruso. What did he do?
Jerry Caruso is one of the bad guys as well. So
God, I really don't picture any.
We put all the comedians in the villain roles. Yeah.
No offense, I don't picture any comic I know, and those two I do know. I don't picture, no offense, any of them to be what's the word? Scary or not funny or serious. So God, that's crazy. But even he was good. Caruso, he put on a scary. Serious.
Yeah, he was one of the
I guess I just don't see it.
Yeah,
but
there's a
it is possible.
Yeah, there's a forced wedding in the movie. The main villain played by Stephen O'Neill Martin, a great local actor, and his daughter's played by Courtney Danforth, also a Rhode Island native. She lives in LA now, but she plays the daughter, and my character is forced to marry her in the movie. We go on vacation, take a trip around the world, and we wake up in their mansion in Italy, and which is Spring Mansion. But it's in Italy in the movie. But we wake up there, and it's a forced wedding, so that's where Jerry and Brian come into play. It's really. It's really different. It's really different.
That's awesome.
Yeah, a lot of local people.
Yeah, I'm trying to think like quotes, like anybody from West or from maybe just from Cranston.
Yeah, I don't know if you know Cranston Capaldi. She was actually my 10th grade English teacher, but she was our production designer.
Maybe by face.
She was she shot Cranston West.
By face maybe.
Yeah, my brother was a producer on it. My neighbors were in it. Ryan Lewis. Yeah, it was really cool. But Matt Zawena, who's
I know the name.
Yeah, he was one of the bad guys as well.
Him, I think I could picture as a bad guy.
Yeah.
He's like dark haired. He's young. He's probably is he your age or something?
No, probably a little older. Yeah.
I think I know. I think I know who that is. Yeah.
Yeah.
Not in a bad way, but I mean him, because I could picture him to be more serious. I just don't see him as a comic. If it's the same guy I'm thinking of.
No, he
met
was
him once
serious,
or twice.
So you have actual serious people.
That's
like
what I mean,
But know what I like to do? I like to flip. I always like to flip. That's why I like to put Brian and Jerry in those roles. And then in my Garden of Wonder show,
that's weird.
My Matt's gonna kill me for saying this, but I put him as a carrot in the Garden of Wonder with Matt Zawena.
Oh,
so
get out.
He's a more serious guy now.
Oh, okay.
So I put him in a comedy.
Oh, get us. You're switching people.
I switched him up, and then he was so miserable in this carrot costume. It was so funny because he's a Garden of Wonder, right? So he played a monster in my Linda Eldridge show. And then I'm like, well, now it's garden theme. So I'm like, Brian, you're the rabbit. Matt, you're gonna be a carrot. And he's like, I'm not being a carrot, dude. No way. And we put him in the carrot, and he's like just miserable, like just sitting there. Everyone's doing their thing. He's pissed. Like he wants to be part of the project, and he's great, but he doesn't realize how great he is in that serious role, that funny role.
Right.
Just by being a miserable character. Oh, it's hilarious.
Oh my God, that's crazy.
Yeah, I always like flipping up people, whatever people are comfortable with. I like to throw something different.
Different of them,
Because people don't realize what they're capable of.
That's what I was going to say.
I see a lot in people that don't see a lot in themselves.
That's right.
And I like to bring it out of them to say, like, look what you can do.
Yeah,
you can do
you're
anything.
Right. You're right. Yeah. No, you're 100% right. You're right. Exactly. Exactly. Definitely. No, and it's interesting. You know what it reminds me of, too, is like someone like J-Lo. Like, I just like her as an artist, more than anything, not even necessarily as an actress, more as like, I'm bringing this up for a reason, artist, dancer, just she has the look, the body, the way she dances. She's just awesome. It should be awesome to see in what's it called, in concert.
Yeah.
But when she's in movies, I feel like she's just the same, like J-Lo. Like it's just the same person. Like it's almost like she's herself almost. Like I watch her in an interview with Ellen or with Oprah or with whoever. And she's J-Lo. Like she's very everyday for someone who's a millionaire the way she acts.
Yeah.
But I feel like that comes out when she's in a movie. And I don't like that about her. As much as I like her, I put her up here on a pedestal because I really have a lot of good things to say about her. As an actress, I don't know. You never know what I mean, those actresses, or even an actor or an actress where they're just the same person in every movie.
Yeah.
And it's like, but that doesn't always fit the role.
No.
You know what I mean? Like, she's in Hustlers as, like, a stripper, meaning J-Lo, and I like that movie. And she's, to me, just not tough enough.
Yes.
Not street enough. She didn't act like a stripper to me. And maybe she did a little bit, but not Meaning there were other women who could have played that role better than her.
Yeah, that's.
Do you agree with that in the real world of acting, like in the famous? I don't want to pinpoint her, but you know what I mean.
I mean, I think it's changing now a little bit, the climate, as far as like just highlighting new actors and giving them a chance, because sometimes the investors in the movie won't sell, unfortunately, unless it's a star. But then how do you become a star by not be given an opportunity? So you really have to like make a window where a door is, whatever. You have to make your own opportunity. I don't know.
No, you're saying it right. I know what you're trying to say. Yeah.
But you have to like make your own opportunities, and you have to like force yourself into the zeitgeist. You have otherwise you're gonna get lost in the shuffle, and that sort of thing is going to keep happening. Yeah, stars are always going to get the roles, even though they're not quite right, but they're a star, and that's going to even if the movie's good or not, it doesn't matter. It's just still going to make money.
Right,
I love when like directors, the Daniels, who just did Everything Everywhere All at Once, is a perfect example of putting unknowns that they know are good. And I met them at the Directors Guild. They did a screening for their movie. It just won Best Picture. Michelle Yeoh won Best Actor. Wow. A lot of people won. Jamie Lee Curtis. But they brought people out that they saw a lot in people. Like the guy from the Goonies, Ki-Yu Kwan, I think. They brought, he hasn't acted in like 30 years, and they saw like a meme about him. They said, have you seen him from the Goonies? And it's a picture of Andrew Yang or something. This is him now. Like, do you feel old yet? And they saw that meme, and they were like, "What? Where is this guy?" And he was doing something else, some other job, and they pulled him out, and now he's a star again, which is so cool.
See, that is crazy.
But yeah, I think you have to be open-minded like that. But they were still smart. They still put Michelle Yeoh, who's very big, and then also Jamie Lee Curtis. Michelle Yeoh's bigger overseas. Jamie Lee Curtis is big here, so you have to answer it with people. But you can the stars can be unknowns, which is
It's true.
It's nice to see that.
True.
It's nice, especially in Best Picture, to see people are given those chances. They're rare, very rare, but it's cool to see.
I know. No, it's true. It's true. Thank you. And those of you just tuning in, guys, we're at Ritual Cafe over on 2028 Warwick Ave. And I just was going to also mention...
they have good egg and cheese. I just had one.
Egg
and cheese on a croissant with Swiss cheese. I hate orange cheese. I have a phobia. I make sure they had Swiss
cheddar cheese? I like cheddar cheese. You can get cheddar cheese white, though, too, technically.
Yeah, that's okay.
That's okay, but if it's orange, I'm like, I can't. Right. Kind of like the blue chips. I made nachos. I did some cooking the other day, and it was just kind of rare for me. But I do cook from time to time, and I said, let me make nachos, like homemade nachos, like you at the restaurant. And I bought some of the blue corn potato chips, and not potato chips, tortilla chips, and the regular tortilla chips. And of course, like even my boyfriend, he's like, oh yeah, these taste, I don't know, they don't taste right. And I'm like, they taste the same thing, they're just blue. I'm like, they're like that navy blue color, right? I'm like, I have to make the nachos look pretty and whatever. You know, I'm like, to me they tasted fine. But then once I put all the toppings on, he ended up eating them. And so did everyone else, there were no complaints. But it's true, you normally wouldn't reach for like that blue or like, I'm just comparing to tricolor orange.
Ooh,
I like that.
Oh, no, thank you.
So,
I don't like
So I'm glad you tried that, because I was just going to mention. So they have a nice they have like some bakery items here, pastry items here, and my friend Adam can see it as well. So come here on 2028 Warwick Ave. They're open Tuesday through Saturday, 7 to 3. Some more of a morning daytime place, 7 to 3 p.m. Tuesday through Saturday. Sundays 8 to 2. Mondays it's closed, but after Memorial Day, they're going to be open on a Monday, and I guess that's kind of like we'll be in summer mode, which I can't wait for. I love the summertime. They have breakfast burritos here.
Good coffee.
Thank you. Yeah. So what was that?
A cold brew.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. I don't know how to order my coffee. I just look and I'm like, give me that.
Right. So you're not like picky, because some people are like hardcore coffee drinkers. They need a certain way, certain type, and they can actually tell the difference between decaf and caffeine, and between like I don't know if I can even tell the difference half the time. Yeah. Well, sometimes I can, but I'm not like people just know their coffee. They and they need it a certain or whatever. I guess I don't drink it enough to but yeah, they just wanted me to mention too that everything here is of good quality, and it is local ingredients as well. They have sandwiches, they have chai tea, which I also like. They have specialty latte flavors as well. And so they have like some deli sandwiches, fries, fried pickles, Italian sausage, pepperoni, and cheese sandwiches. So what does that say? Weekday special, free coffee before 9 a.m. a breakfast sandwich purchase. Okay. So check that out then. So weekday special, free coffee before 9 a.m. with a breakfast sandwich purchase. So it's not bad. So it's like you get a free coffee with a sandwich. So sounds good. So different coffee options, different grilled breakfast options, different breakfast breakfast sandwiches. So definitely a lot going on here. And so anyway, back to our friend Adam Carbone. We'll wrap up soon, and I just was going to say, so as far as funding, like, is this something like where a business can fund you, or does it matter who funds the movie? Is it a versatile? Anything you want to put out to the viewers in case they know someone, or?
No, it depends on what you get out of the funding. Like you can pull together a bunch of smaller resources and put that all together. It's kind of like what we did with Part Ball. We just got. Some people gave way more than others, but it's still a lot of people putting their resources together.
Right.
I mean, to me, if there's a will, there's a way. Anyway, you can make a movie. And make sure your script's good. Make sure your actors are good. Yeah. And just do it. But it depends. You could go for a bigger, resource. But sometimes, like if you get big money, they're gonna want something out of it, which is fair, right? It's their money. But it depends. Like, what do they want? Do they want the star in there, or do they want? How do they want it made? Are they gonna have script input? And I think they have the right to because it's their money. But sometimes the filmmakers are like, wait, no, that's my script. You can't give me input. But if it's their money, how else are you gonna make the movie? So you gotta see it. What does that come with? Sometimes it's angel investors that are just, here's the money, do your thing. And
what do you mean? What does that mean, angel?
Like they don't bother you. They kind of just here's your money and just do your thing. Which is great. Filmmakers love that.
Flexible,
but it just depends on what you're getting and what you're signing up for. So it could be done many different ways.
Right. Yeah. No, sounds good. All right, great. Thank you. And so should we be on the lookout for Paul, or like how's do you have an idea of when that would stream, or how it would stream?
Definitely within the next couple months it'll be out, and I'll probably post links on my Facebook page. YouTube, Facebook.com/Squib, SHQUIB. My show, the finale is coming out soon. The George Sakai episode just dropped at YouTube.com/@thegardenofwonder, one word. That the latest episode just dropped. The finale will be soon, probably in a couple weeks, and
good.
Yeah. And then the movie in the summer, I'll be casting. I actually I work very just unorthodox, and Facebook messages. I'm open to all that, Instagram, anything, and that's how I kind of network with people. I just production manage a WWE commercial, and I just put on my Facebook.
Wrestling.
Yeah,
I used to love that.
Oh yeah, it was great. Like, and that was awesome. The funding for that for one day was like crazy, but it was great. And we got everything we needed. We got all the gear, the crew, everything, the actors. But I did it on Facebook. People just messaged me. I was like, oh yeah, sure, I could get you in there, So that's how I work. That's how I work. Facebook is a great networking tool for anybody that's looking to get into the business. Use Facebook. Use everything is fair game as far as I'm concerned.
Right. Thanks. Good. Sounds great. Great. And anything else you want to close with? Or I'll be letting you know, guys, where I'm going to be next week. I'm actually going to be in Massachusetts next week. I'm going to venture off somewhere different. I normally stay in Rhode Island, locally owned places. So hi Kristen. Hi. She said this is awesome.
Oh,
hey, thank you for tuning in.
She was our production designer.
Oh, this is the teacher you were saying. I probably know her by face. Thanks for tuning in.
What I want to close out, I'm running for president.
Yeah.
Wait, I can't even. We gotta be 35.
Do you have to be 35?
I think so. No. Next time.
Okay.
I would lose so bad.
No.
I haven't ruled out future runs. For it just depends on what I'm doing.
Yeah, what it would be.
And how big, because it's very time consuming. And luckily 2020 was. There was a lot of time to do a lot of things.
Because I know, actually you probably know Amy Ritchie.
Yeah.
And when she ran those couple times, I even did some, helping out in the background, and I just was like, wow, it's just nonstop. You're just going on, you're knocking on people's door. I'd vote for you, Adam.
Thank you.
Thank you.
2024.
I know, 2024.
See, I had so much fun doing it, but I don't want to water down what that was. That was like a moment in time.
Yeah.
But I had so much fun with it. Like maybe why not? But also I don't want to ruin that. So I got to think about that.
Yeah. I know, but it's true. It's true. It is a lot of work.
It is.
Knocking on doors, and it was nonstop.
I was mailing spaghetti out to people. I put spaghetti in letters because you have the voter list. Yeah. Putting spaghetti in envelopes and sending it out.
Oh my God.
Vote for me.
Oh my God, that's cute.
Why didn't it work?
I can't believe it. No, that's awesome. That's awesome. And are you ever looking for extras for the movies? Or
all the time.
If anybody wants to reach out, by the way, to be an extra, or for any funding purposes, or for purposes of, anything, I guess, even a business that you might need as a location, like you were saying. And, so I think that's really creative that you made it look like you were going around the world, but really you were around Rhode Island.
Yeah.
And that's true, because, I didn't see the movie, but I wish I did now. But, there's so much of Rhode Island. There's the ocean view, there's the woods, there's everything.
Sand dunes in West Greenwich.
Yeah.
Like we made that Iraq, and it was like,
it's like,
hell, it was crazy.
It's crazy. Like,
so
there's a lot
beaches.
here,
Yeah.
more than we would realize, you know, if we're always sticking in like Cranston, like myself and stuff like that. You know what I mean? Like, sometimes we get locked in the same city or town. But so yeah, well, thanks. Thank you for coming on, and
so good excuse to get up early. I'm like Garfield in the morning without like
Garfield, I like him. I forgot about that
Shout
show.
out to Garfield.
I forgot about that show. And I like Garfield. I said he kind of reminded me of like Billy Ray Cyrus a little bit with this look.
Yeah.
I'm like, not that it looks bad, but there's someone else from the 80s you remind me of, and I just can't think of who it is.
Garfield.
So it's like, not Garfield. Not Garfield. And I love Garfield. I know. So every week I'm in a different spot. So just tell the viewers that next week so we're in May next week, May 2nd, next Tuesday. So May 2nd, already May, can't wait. Joel Davis, who is, do you know him? He's actually a comedian too.
No.
More of a newer comic. He's a former pro wrestler. And currently doing some comedy work. Joel Davis. He'll be with me at Herbalife Uplifting Nutrition on 7 Main Street in Taunton, Mass. It is going to be another morning Tuesday as well. So Herbalife Uplifting Nutrition on 7 Main Street, Taunton, Massachusetts, in the morning next week, which is May 2nd already, moving along. I'm happy about that.
No, I'm not looking forward to May 4th. I hate when people say May the 4th be with you. Oh, we gotta stop. We gotta stop.
I never thought of that.
When people say May the 4th be with you, they post a picture of Yoda or R2D2.
Oh, that. I know.
Disney's already taking Star Wars and like tanking it. Like, we don't need to make it worse.
I know.
I don't think anyone wants to hear that, but I will not like any May the 4th post. So. I mean, people are gonna do your thing, but
I know. I feel like I'm out of the loop. That's because I barely scroll. Like I'm hardly ever on the scroll. Like it's just I miss stuff.
That's in the same bucket as orange cheese with me. Orange cheese and orange cheese and tri-colored pasta. Get them out of here.
I have some pet peeves too. I just can't think of them offhand. Like, like when a guy walks like right in front of me into a restaurant. It's like, okay. Oh, yeah. Like I'm here, I'm on a date with you, and you walk right in front of me.
Yeah,
that's happened in the past with other people, not the current guy, but and I'm just like, okay, total pet peeve.
Yeah.
There's a couple pet peeves I have, again.
Well, thanks for having me, though.
Thank you. Yeah, thank you. We can wrap up. And so next week, Taunton, Massachusetts, so watch me on here or on a replay and drop a comment like always, like and share like always. Thank you again.
OceanStateCurrent.com
yes.
for the replay.
That too, right? That's right. Yeah. Thank you. Yeah. No, but thank you. That's true too. Thank you. And so thanks again for coming on.
Yeah,
appreciate it. Thank you. We appreciate it. And like you said, you can reach him on Facebook as well for those roles as an extra, anything to do with funding, any questions, or maybe even other roles you might need filled.
Yeah, even more than extra. Anything's possible.
So thank you. All right, thanks for being flexible. And okay, all right, sounds good. You're welcome. You're welcome. And I'll see you guys. Okay, bye.
And I'm going to walk in front of you.
On the way out. All right, thanks, guys. Bye-bye.